piece of advice to junior golfers. In fact, I'll say it to some of the adult golfers. And, there's no whining till the ball stops. How many times I've seen the ball fly through the air and people whining about it and ends up hitting a tree and then back in the fairway. Particularly when I have a Nassau going with somebody. I tell them no whining till the ball stops. I want to thank the Golf Association of Philadelphia for inviting me up here this year to talk a little bit, two topics I'm going to talk about is navigating the world of junior golf, which is the first part of the presentation. And the second part of my presentation is about getting to college and obviously playing golf in college. I'm going to throw a lot of stuff at you, so if you have pads and paper or whatever, and don't feel like you have to absorb it all, but I really want to cover a lot of stuff so that you fully comprehend, particularly on getting to college stuff, you fully comprehend kind of what's going on there and you know what's going on. Some of you are not ready to do that college process yet. Some of you are very close to it. So hopefully this presentation, for those of you who are beginning your junior golf career, you might be a freshman, sophomore, 8th grader, get something out of the first half of the presentation and know what's coming down the road in the second half of the presentation. And those of you who are on the verge of really sitting down and seriously considering where you're going in college golf, you get something out of that as well. So, if I hit the right button, So the first part of the presentation is navigating and succeeding in junior golf. And what I'm saying about that, I'm talking about competitive junior golf. Is basically what I'm talking about. And there are three keys to success in this process, in being able to do this part of your life well. And the number one thing is you have to pay attention to your schoolwork. Now, what does that have to do with junior golf and what's going on with it? Well, the three most important things about embarking on a career which leads to competitive junior golf are grades, grades, and grades. No college coach wants to babysit anybody in the classroom. And as you will hear me talk about later, you have to be the right fit, what's called a best fit approach to your school. And so academically where you are is important to the coach. They may look at your golf scores and they may pay attention to your golf scores, but the second thing they're going to ask is what are your grades are like. And I'll tell you why that's important. It's just important because you have to get into the school. So you have to pay attention to your schoolwork. You got to be informed. The other key about success is you got to be informed about how to play competitive junior golf, how to navigate the world of junior golf, and be informed about how the college process works. You also have to build a plan. You have to have some construct of a plan. It doesn't have to be written down in some 40-page document. You have to have some basis of a plan to navigate your way through junior golf. Paying attention to schoolwork is another aspect of that I want to talk to. And I really firmly believe that success in the classroom leads to success on the golf course. If you come out of a chemistry test or a geometry test or a history test, and you're going to the course that day, and you just got your paperback from the teacher, and you got a 95 on it, your mood is going to be a lot better when you get to the golf course than if you got a 65. Your attitude's going to be better. I really believe that A's and B's in the classroom lead to birdies on the golf course. They just do. It's self-confidence. It's part of what you have to go through in life anyway. And when you're successful in the classroom, you're more likely to have the right attitude to be successful. Because I know it's true for me. If I've had a good day or a good week at work, and it's been a great week at work, when I get to the golf course, my attitude's a lot better and I play better golf that weekend. Malcolm Tony once said his golf game really never got great until he was a success in his career. And I think that's true in a lot of different places. So paying attention to schoolwork is real important. The key number two is all about information and being informed. Now here's what you need to know. You need to know information about junior golf. If you're going to navigate your way through the world of junior golf, you've got to know about junior golf. Okay, you got to know about, you have to have information about training and the processing to get better. We heard from body balance today, and and that's part of training. You have to have that information. You have to know how to build a tournament schedule, and finding tournaments, and picking the right tournament to play in at the right time, according to your own ability, according to where you are in your junior golf career, according to what you're eligible to get into. So those are all part of the need to know. You also have to have some information about college recruiting. Maybe not when you're a freshman or an 8th grader, but once you start getting into your sophomore year in high school, you have to start thinking about it. College coaches are building, let's see, the sophomores this year would be class 2013. So if you're in class 2013, there are college coaches that have file folders on their computers or on their desks with the names of kids in class 2013. So if you're a sophomore, you need to be aware of that. You also need to know how to be visible in this sport. How do you make yourself visible? I mean, if you win the U.S. Junior, you're already visible. But given the fact that only one person this year is going to win the U.S. Junior, you know, there's a lot of you that need to work a little bit more on visibility. Okay, being informed, where do you start? Well, obviously you can start at the Junior Golf Scoreboard. That's what we do. We've been doing it since 1998. There's pretty much everything you want to know about junior golf and tournaments and college recruiting that you can't find on there. We have fitness articles, we have sports psychology, golf psychology articles, we have obviously the tournament schedules, and we track more than 2,000 tournaments a year. If it's a stroke play tournament in this country and it's multi-round, 36 holes or more, it is probably on the Junior Golf Scoreboard, except if it's a high school event, unfortunately. But even then, we have some high school state championships. Even the AJGA. And the AJGA is obviously a large competitive, they run junior golf tournaments, that's what they do, they run the best in the country. Most of you in this room have probably heard about them, but they also have some very informative articles on their website as well. John Brooks, who writes an article on who writes a column on our website along with Ted Gleason, also writes for the AJGA, does the question and answers for them as well. The Payne College Golf Guide. The Payne College Golf Guide is online at collegegolf.gov. It is an amazing, amazing, amazing resource. Every college program in the country is in that Payne College Golf Guide. Whether they get scholarships, whether they're Division I, Division II, what kind of tournaments they're playing, and what kind of scores they have. I mean, it is, you know, if you're going to research a dozen schools for yourself, the Payne College Golf Guide will tell you the coach's name, his telephone number. You won't always get his email because sometimes they don't always put them in there. But the Payne College Golf Guide, it's 70-some bucks a year, well worth it. If you're a sophomore or above in high school, you need to be using this resource. It's incredible. It's amazing. It's amazing. Dean Frishnath, I think, has been a guest lecturer here. Is the chart. All right. So we talked about paying attention in school. We talked about being informed. What's next? Well, you need to build and work a plan. How do you do that? Well, there's a lot of parts to a plan. There's a lot of things. Anybody who's in business and has written business plans like I have as a career, been doing some consulting for small companies, building a plan is key because it kind of gives you a roadmap of where you want to go, and you kind of judge yourself against that plan. And by the way, anybody who's ever been in business will tell you, probably within a few months after you write the plan, you're going to adjust a little bit. The same thing is true here. Part of the plan is getting better. You know, if you're going to navigate the world of junior golf, you have to be dedicated to having a plan to get better. And part of that plan is being able to identify an instructor. Now, there are lots of golf instructors who teach the game of golf. Some of them are good with kids, some of them are not. I'm not taking any shots at the PGA here. I'm just saying there are people who just have a better affinity at working with kids than other instructors do. So you have to be able to identify a good instructor. And they should have experience with juniors. They should have taught juniors before. And they should also, by the way, be taking notes. One of the things that I want an instructor to do is to be able to have a notebook or a note something for each one of their junior players that they're teaching so they can remember what they're working on with that player. Oh, skipped over here. Sorry about that. Let me go back here a second. There should be check-ins and follow-ups. And the instructor is the coach. Now, the instructor doesn't just see you and take your money for an hour lesson. You know, they follow up. They say, how did that tournament go? What are your weaknesses? What are some of the things that you need to work on? What did you do well in the last tournament? What did you not do? So there should be some follow-up. It shouldn't be just, oh, hi, Johnny, how are you? Let's go hit balls. There should be a continuing relationship with the instructor that you follow up with them. They should give you specific help with practice routines. They should be giving you homework assignments, in fact, to do before you come back for the next lesson.